Good morning again, everyone, and thanks again for your patience. Welcome to our NMIS webinar today in conversation with the Manufacturing Skills Academy. And I'll now just hand you over to my colleague, Jim Hannigan. Thanks very much. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody, and once again, thanks and welcome to this morning's event. My name's Jim Hannigan. I'm Head of Skills Capability at the NMIS Manufacturing Skills Academy. I'll be your moderator this morning. And first of all, though, I'd like to take a minute to allow our panel to introduce themselves. So in no particular order, Jill.
Sorry, Jill, I think you're muted.
Okay, well, that was a practice run for me. I'll start again. So good morning, everyone. I'm the program manager for the National Transition Training Fund, and I work closely with our team to shape the training fund, or the NTTF, as I will call it. We shape the aims and objectives so that we can deliver a program which is in line with the vision set out by the Scottish Government, and that will add value to the manufacturing skills landscape.
Thanks, Jill. Kate.
Nope.
Also muted.
Kate, you're muted. Thanks.
Yes. Morning, all. I'm Kate. I'm the MSA CPD project lead for our team in the Manufacturing Skills Academy. My day-to-day is facilitating the running of our MSA e-learning platform, which is new. Ensuring every learner's CPD journey is effortless and really engaging on the platform. I also help to develop some of the online content by collaborating with other members of our content team and with experts from our centre in anything from additive manufacturing to other emerging digital technologies. So that's my role here.
Thanks, Kate. Jose.
Good morning, everybody. Jose Hernandez. I am the NMIS CPD manager, and I work with the Manufacturing Skills Academy. My responsibility is to set the strategy for the training products that we're going to be offering to our clients. Our focus has been, since we set up last year, on digital manufacturing technologies. So we're helping companies transition to the digital transformation journey. But slowly but surely, we're moving into the sustainability, the net zero, and the circular economy area. Thank you.
Thanks, Jose. Probably got some housekeeping we're good to go through before we get started. This webinar has been recorded and be made available on our YouTube channel. If you could do us a favour when you're not speaking, if you could please keep your microphone switched off to avoid any background noise. It's up to you whether you have your camera on or off. We want this to be a conversation, as it says on the tin. This isn't really us transmitting. So you can ask questions throughout the session, either by typing in the chat box or verbally by using the raise hand function that I'm sure we're all well aware of by now. And we'll let you know when it's your opportunity to ask your question, or indeed make an observation. It doesn't necessarily need to be a question. And obviously, please don't hesitate to contact us after the session if you have any more questions that you would like us to attempt to answer. So very briefly, I think I'll just, what is the National Manufacturing Institute Scotland? Hopefully much of the sector is well aware now. There's been a group of industry-led, and I think that's the important part, manufacturing, research and development facilities, where research industry and the public sector, we work together to effectively have a transformational effect on the national manufacturing landscape, and that's from transforming skills and productivity and approaches to innovation such that we can attract investment to the country and make Scotland a global leader in advanced manufacturing. Now, the Skills Academy is a core element within NMIS. As you can see in this diagram on the screen in front of you at the moment, we're down there in the bottom left. The Manufacturing Skills Academy is a key part of NMIS, is very externally facing. And from that perspective, we have our own strategic objectives. Now, I don't intend to read all of those out. However, you can see they're quite clearly there. They are embracing some of the things that we will probably talk about this morning around talent pool and developing current and future workforce, right through to the net zero emissions, the green skills and green jobs agenda. So that's us, really. We can probably get started. I think an important thing for us to think about now is the energy transition and the digital transformation. We're already rapidly changing what work we do, how we do it and where we do it. And there will be growing competition for sustainable and digital competencies. We've got an ageing workforce, we've got fewer new recruits. A lack of diversity is already pointed to an increasing skills challenge for the future, never mind the impact of COVID and climate change. So I suppose one of the big questions would be how will manufacturing companies know what skills and knowledge and capabilities they'll need in this complex future? And particularly when we add in the impact of today's theme around net zero carbon skills and green jobs. And I guess I was just wondering, Jose, in particular, if you could start the ball rolling for us around that question. What do you see as the barriers to the manufacturing companies transitioning to be part of the green economy from a skills and training perspective? And how can the Manufacturing Skills Academy help?
Yeah, no, thanks, Jim. I think that's an important question. The green skills is not a new topic. Conversations of these, I came across yesterday a policy document that's 10 years old that was speaking about the challenges that companies are going through in order to facilitate a transition into the green economy. And today, 10 years after, we're still experiencing the same issues, and I think it's useful to get the views from the participants in the call to see if they feel the same. But what we have noticed as we have been delivering training to organizations and we started to engage with them, we noticed that there's still a degree of risk aversion towards workforce training. And during time of pressure, you know, the pandemic has been a difficult period, and training tends to take a second step from a priority perspective. You know, companies move into survival mode, and unfortunately that has been prevalent in our experience. But I think that risk aversion comes from a number of sources, and yeah, I think you touched on one. Many businesses still don't know that they have a skills need, and in the work that we have been doing with digital manufacturing, we notice it. And green skills being a new topic for many companies is going to be even more pervasive. Those companies that are a little bit aware of this, even though they know about the importance of moving to a green economy, they might not realize the benefits to them, in particular, of transitioning. And this is all compounded by, you mentioned it as well, you know, this competition for a scarce expert workforce. Companies are not keen to invest in employees that may be leaving the organization, and I think it is creating a vicious circle. And of course, this is further compounding the risk aversion towards workforce training. In terms of what the things we think should be done and what we're starting to do to kind of support this conversation, we have to start from the beginning. I think for those companies that are not aware, we need to create more awareness and understanding of the green economy. And this is both from an industry and also from an employee perspective. And the training courses that we are currently working on will help to address this, you know, definitions, what do certain key concepts mean, and hopefully that will get more companies to engage with us. But at the same time, we also need companies to engage with us more openly. We need them to help us articulate what skill needs they need. And hopefully, as we create this awareness, they will start to realize some of the gaps they might have. And we need to have more close conversation with business leaders. In terms of the support that could be available, I think support sector organizations can play a key role engaging with all of these companies and trying to facilitate those conversations as well, and being a bridge for the support that we can provide with the Manufacturing Skills Academy. In order of the risking that investment activity, what NMIS can offer just now, and we've already been working this in the last year, is we do have some free support for both manufacturing SMEs, but also for individuals that are looking to scale through some of our funded programs like Advanced Manufacturing Challenge Fund, which is aimed at industry, and a National Transition Training Fund, which is aimed at individuals. And now that we have the second tranche of the National Transition Training Fund, we're going to have a bigger emphasis on the net zero agenda. And one last area where I think we could or we should be doing something about this is the qualifications and standards. At the moment, there is not an agreed curriculum for many of these things, and I think we have a responsibility to bring the key players in the area together so that we can formulate this best practice approach towards qualifications and standards.
Thanks, Jose. That's a fairly comprehensive answer to that question. Hopefully it started some thinking amongst the group here. I don't see any questions in the chat box. As I said, feel free to... oh, there's just one popped in from Ryan. We're in the process of looking to move to new purpose-built premises where net zero is a major focus for us, as well as increasing our workforce. I think it's important that we take that holistic view. I think, Ryan, as you're pointing out there, as to what the net zero focus is, because it does encompass a number of things from a skills perspective, not just technical skills, but also commercial skills, legislative skills that would be useful to allow you to make your financial decisions on moving to a new purpose-built premises and put your sustainability at the core of your business strategy. That's very interesting. I think I would just, if you don't mind, I'll segue across now to Jill. Jose mentioned the National Transition Training Fund. Jill has been very active in this for us, and I just wondered, Jill, if you can tell us what's been delivered already, and as Jose alluded to, what's in the pipeline for the future for National Transition Training Fund projects.
Okay, so thanks, Jim. Yes, so I can give you an overview of what we delivered for the NTTF, the first tranche of the NTTF funding, and then NTTF2. So very briefly, because there is lots of different activities that we got involved with. But as Jose said, the NTTF was very much focused on individuals, and so really transitioning, upskilling, and reskilling of individuals to help them transition through the pandemic. And it came right when everything was changing. And so for what we did was we had a program of skills focused on Industry 4.0 and the digital transformation. And so we had about 18 we delivered 18 training opportunities via externally provided courses, as well as ones that we started developing on our own. And we got about 307 engagements for this, with 61% of all of those individuals actually completing the courses that we sent out. The other thing we did, we did do some work for SMEs. And I think part of the events that you're attending today, so thanks to all the SMEs that are here, was really to start to understand, what you require for green jobs to really come and maybe engage with us. And as Jose said, speaking with SMEs would be really good for us. So, thanks for all for coming for SMEs, and hopefully we can engage with you more. Moving forward into NTTF2. The other thing we did was because NTTF1 was new to us, we increased our capability so that we could start to expand with NTTF2. And the one thing we did do was we did a CapEx, some capital expenditure on a reconfigurable pilot line. And this is a platform that really enables this will really enable our training to be both. We'll actually be able to bring our training to people if we wanted to. So the RPL is 200% configurable portable workstations, which will be populated with a series of robotic manipulators. So the workstations can operate independently or collaboratively, and it enables us to offer hands-on training on a wide range of digital manufacturing areas, including how to design a digital manufacturing cell for productivity and waste reduction, how to program robots for collaborative working, and how to reduce waste. So as I said before, the nice thing about it is it is portable, so we can actually come to you, which means that we can start moving away from people coming to us, the Central Belt, and us moving to different parts of Scotland. Now for the NTTF2, as you know, the Scottish government really expanded its vision for the NTTF2 so transitioning through the pandemic is still a focus, but there's also the net zero transition, mitigating the EU exit, so the impacts of the EU exit, as well as elements such as taking action through the program to tackle inequality. And so we will be delivering our NTTF2 funding via 5 sub-programs worth 1.98 million. The first, so I'm just going to go through the programs very briefly. The first is really focused on increasing inclusivity, and this is going to be this is tackling that inequality that we've been talking about, and delivering this through NMIS to transform perceptions and increase opportunities for underrepresented groups, working with employers and key partners. And we'll be working, our partners include Equate Scotland and the Association of Black and Ethnic Minority Engineers in the UK. And what we're hoping to do is to engage with 50 employers, including 30 SMEs, as well as a minimum of 50 individuals. So if you want to hear more, please do come and speak to us. And if you're interested as an SME or you know of anybody that is interested, please do come and speak to us. The second is really an expansion of our program for upskilling and reskilling for Industry 4.0. So, and this will range from meta skills and as well as skills in advanced and digital manufacturing. And what we'd like to do is, again, have 300 engagements. The third sub-program is going to be focused on net zero and sustainability. And really we'll be working through the CSAP, which is the Climate Emergency Skills Action Plan, with Skills Development Scotland and other partners to build on capabilities from the previous NTTF work. So again, we'd like to engage with 50 employers, including 30 SMEs, as well as we'd like to attract about 200 individual engagements. The fourth sub-program is a micro-credential program for digital manufacturing to net zero. And again, we're looking to launch this program at the end. So we'll be really spending the 10-month period really trying to develop this program with different partners, both within the University of Strathclyde, as well as different partners across Scotland. So we really want it to be a national program. And the last is, again, the expansion of our pilot graduate training program, which I realized I forgot to mention in the NTTF1. But so part of it was we started the pilot graduate training program where we attracted 30 graduates and we placed them with 11 employers across Scotland, and 5 of them were actually part of NMIS. So some of these graduates have already gone on to receive permanent employment in other places, and others have been kept on with their employers. So we're expanding this program in NTTF2 to include 40 employers and 50 graduates. And the nice thing about this program is that a third of these will be part-time placements, which will again go towards that increasing the inclusivity, we hope anyway, for our the individuals that we're targeting. So that I think is concludes both our NTTF1 and NTTF2 summaries.
Thanks, Shil. Again, a comprehensive overview, and I'm sure there's a lot of content in there that people will probably like to take up with you offline. Just before I ask Kate how we can access all of that good content that you've described there, I'm just noting in the chat box conversation with Jose and Ryan. And Ryan, it's interesting because there's some research published recently around the sort of 3 things you need to start thinking about as you're making this transition, and it is around adapting your workplace, a modern hybrid working conditions. It is about redesigning how you do your work and your expectation of your workforce, and of course, how do you manage your talent and recruitment. So everything you've put in that chat box there is resonating quite soundly with the research that's being performed at the moment. So just sort of flexing back to the overview of what training and skills courses are available at the moment. Some great content there described by Jose and Jill. Kate, what's the best way to access that content?
Really good question. Apologies for my absence in that period. It's just typical, isn't it? Everything goes fine, and then that one day you need it to work. So yeah, we have a lovely brand new online learning platform, which we would love to have good traffic to. It's definitely leading in its the way it works, basically. The platform can be accessed through our NMIS website. You can browse our range of courses. We've got anything at the moment from a whole series in remanufacturing, Internet of Things. We have a course on. We were supported by a company called AMA, and we did a 3D printing workflow series as well. So this can all be accessed either through our website, so nmis.scot, you'll find our Manufacturing Skills Academy there, and our range of courses are promoted on there. But also, I believe our marketing team has dropped in, yeah, I can see it, a self-sign-up link for today. You can use the code GREENJOBS, very apt, and you can hook onto our learning platform today, and you can browse our range of courses. We've opened this code for the entire COP26 series, which is coming to Glasgow, obviously, this year, which is really exciting to be able to host that. This content can be accessed anytime, anywhere, both offline and online, which is obviously a great tool to have for anybody in their e-learning journey. It can facilitate both virtual learning as well. So we will move through our live webinars to hopefully support our NTTF projects and ANCF projects. You'll be able to hop on and see our live webinars as well through a calendar of events that you can have as a learner on our platform. Yeah, so please visit, have a look at our courses, and be in touch with anything that you think we should be having on there, because we're constantly developing courses, and we want them to be targeted to obviously the challenges that SMEs face. And there's no point in having content that's not useful to people. So yeah, that's what I have to say on that.
Thanks for that, Kate. Much appreciated. I'm going to take an opportunity here to have an indulgence and ask one of the key players in the manufacturing and engineering skills landscape at the moment, Billy Scott. Billy works for the National Skills Agency as Key Sector Manager for Engineering. And it would be good to get a little bit of a perspective from yourself, Billy, around CSAP in particular and how that's progressing, and just making sure that us at the Manufacturing Skills Academy are tied as closely as we need to be to the National Skills Agency.
Thanks very much, Jim. Really appreciate the notice you gave me for coming in with this intervention. I'm just loving what I'm hearing so far this morning, and it's I know quite a few of the people here, which is fantastic, and introduced to new people as well. Climate emergency is now central to what SDS is concerned about. From our perspective in my team, we're the industry-facing part of SDS, but we've also got colleagues in the careers service who are facing the public and young people, and climate emergency is central to what we're doing. And for engineering and manufacturing, the sector has a responsibility to reduce its carbon footprint, and that's going to involve investing in technology, but crucially equipping people with the tools and skills to use that technology. And Industry 4, which NMIS is all about, is going to be the set of tools and set of techniques which are going to enable us to make things smarter, using less resource, and making them quickly, making them more perfect, and making them in a way that they can be used again once they've reached the end of their life cycle. So I think NMIS, and in particular the Skills Academy, is actually going to be key to helping Scotland reduce its carbon footprint.
Thanks, Billy. And just for anybody else in the call, you know, I think it's important to know that Billy was one of the original gangsters, as it were, around the development of the skills proposition for the Manufacturing Skills Academy within NMIS. So we always have had that connectivity with the National Skills Agency, and I think it's really important that we maintain that as we go forward. I'm just noticing we're probably coming up to the end of time. Not time all over, just the end of our time, to 12 o'clock. But I'm just wondering if there's any one last thing our panelists would like to leave with the group today to have a think about with respect to, you know, net zero carbon, green skills, green jobs. What's the one thing you would like our audience to take away with them today? If you don't mind, I'll start with you, Jose.
Yeah, no, happy to share. I think Billy probably mentioned a little bit, he stole my thunder. The digital manufacturing technologies will play a big part in the green transformation, and we're here to help organizations de-risk that. So, but again, this area is so vast, you know, talking about a specific area, you can go into many different rabbit holes. And for us, it's key to have this conversation because we do have many plans to develop lots of great content, but if we can have those conversations with industry, we can prioritize to help those organizations that engage first to become together first, I suppose. So that's what I would say is just please keep in touch with us. And Ryan, we'll follow back up with you if that's okay. Thank you.
Perfect. Kate?
Yeah, just marrying on what Jose said there. We'll always be looking out to see what the government's action plan is. There's the 10-point plan the government released, so we'll be working on trying to transition our training into helping in those areas in terms of green skills, green jobs. We're always wanting to learn as well. Nobody knows too little or too much, so it's a kind of working thing for all of us to learn more about it, and we're wanting to educate as many SMEs on the plan and where the world should be going, and how we can help facilitate them into a more sustainable future. And that's what we're here for, and we're all here to learn. So I think that's the main takeaway is everyone's got a wee bit more to learn about what's going on, I think, in transforming into like a green future. Yeah, everyone has a little part to play, don't we?
Indeed, Kate. Indeed. Thank you. Jill?
You don't need it, Jill.
Yeah, thank you. For me, there's two that really stand out, and I think they're related. And the first is really the idea of adaptability. So really adopting that growth mindset. So if you're looking to upskill or reskill, if you're running an organization or part of an organization, it's really understanding that you will be part of a changing future, and how you really kind of adapt that and adopt that into your strategy going forward is really going to be key for me. And I guess the second part, which again goes back to what my colleagues have mentioned, again, is collaboration. So really, we do need to bring collaboration up to the forefront of how we work. So collaboration across the private sector, the public sector, you know, having a real good understanding of what the government as well in terms of policy has to offer. So yes, for me, growth mindset and collaboration.
Thanks, Jill. Yeah, I think all of those absolutely key and valid points, essential points probably in the conversation that we've embarked on. I think for me, it's about unity of purpose across industry, academia, public sector, to all help each other make this journey, I think, and that's something we've all touched on at some point in our contributions today. So I think as long as we can maintain that unity of purpose, I think we'll be going some way to helping make that just transition to a more green economy, which should bring more opportunity. There'll be a little bit of risk, but it should bring more opportunity for better jobs for Scotland in the manufacturing sector and beyond. So again, I'm noticing we're a minute over, which isn't bad, really. I'd like again to thank you for your time I know time's precious for everybody at the moment. I really appreciate everybody coming on and listening and sharing their ideas. And just to reiterate everything that's going through the chat box, anything we can do to help, please get in touch. So thanks again for all your contributions, and I'm sure I'll see you all soon.
Yep, thanks very much.
Cheers.
Thanks very much, guys. That was great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Cheers.
That's great, Jim. Thanks very much. And just like to say thank you to our panel for Jim, Jill, Hosey and Kate's time, and to you, the audience, for joining us today. And shortly after this webinar finishes, you will receive a survey, and we'd be really appreciative if you could complete that for us, as it does help us to shape future NMIS Insight webinars. And we'll just bring the webinar to a close now. Thanks very much again. Thank you.
Thank you.
So if we could hang on for a minute, the panelists.